Hello, everybody. Welcome to week 4, module 4. We're cruising along at a really good clip. We're going to keep going. We're about halfway through the course, if you can believe it. Um, Modules 1, 2, and 3, if you haven't completed some of those assignments, you still have plenty of time to get those done. But for now, we're going to jump right in. This will be a short video. There's not a lot to do for Module 4, which we kind of do that on purpose so you can catch up if you need to for your Strengths Finder uh, um, assessment or your Smarter Measure assessment. So just kind of a reminder, a review. And again, you can find those links right here in Blackboard, the strength sign-in link, and then the Smarter Measure sign-in link. So those are a couple of items that you need to make sure that you complete before the end of the semester. So speaking of Strengths Finders, as we move forward into Module 4, there's a web link for you to apply your talents in academics, talents or strengths, same synonymous basically, so we could switch out talents for strengths here if we wanted to. But there's another link. It's the same link. I think we saw this last week as well. Yep, sure enough. So again, find your top 5 in here or just your top 1 and click on it. And it'll give you some helpful hints or tools that you can integrate and use in your academic life as well as in other areas of your life. So that's just more or less kind of an FYI or to keep you going with your strengths. And then speaking of that, in fact, let me go over here real quick. I always like to pull up our deliverables checklist and see what we have to do this week. So for Module 4, you have a little journal, which we're going to talk about in a second, and then your slide deck. So you'll be creating and doing a little bit with Google Slides, which I'll show you how to do that in a second. And then, of course, the discussion board, talking about some of the Gateway resources. Okay, so again, this week is Explore Learning Success. So obviously you are here to learn. In this particular course is just more or less getting you acquainted with what Gateway has to offer you to be successful. So this unit, we dive in, and subsequent units coming up will continue that dive into the resources and tools available to you at Gateway that you may not be aware of. So, but before we get into that, we're going to stay on the strengths train for a minute. And your first of 3 Module 4 items is the top 5 strengths and your academic success. So after looking at that Strengths Resources website, answer at least one question below in your journal. And again, these journals are reflections. Only I read them. Nobody else sees them. So you feel free to put whatever you want in there. Paragraph at least of 100 words. Again, I don't count words, so if you can say what you need to say in 20 words, then more power to you. You can also do an audio or video link as well. You can also answer all 3 or pick 2. It doesn't matter, but minimally, you want to answer one of these 3 questions. So again, as with everything, you click that and then it'll come up and then you can copy and paste the question or questions that you want to answer right into your journal. So the first one, what surprised you about the Strengths Resource website's breakdown of academic and personal success strategies? Choose an academic or personal success strategy that resonated with you. And then do you think there are any strategies that could be added to the list? So again, you want to use the Strengths Resources website. It's an external URL, so they'll take you to something that looks like that. And again, beep, beep, we've seen it before, right? Okay. So there it is right there. Okay, so this link is the same one. They'll take you out to that. So anyway, read through that. Pick, and it says top five. You can pick your top one talent or strength and just focus on that. You could look at all five, look at top three, whatever you want to do. This, remember, this experience, and this holds true for most of your classes, if not all of them, really. When you go into it, think of this being your personal experience, and we have parameters. We give you guidelines to follow, but really the bulk and the meat that you choose to add to your plate is totally up to you. So I relate school and each course and even right down to each assignment. I try to give options. Most of us do as instructors, but I equate it to being like kind of like a Golden Corral buffet, or whatever kind of buffet you're used to or accustomed to, where you have all these different options to choose from. And you know, you may want to belly up to the pizza buffet, or the, ooh, I like the dessert bar. You know, you go over and hang out at the soft serve machine all night, you know, because you know you like it and you keep going back. That's good for you. That's the way. That's a comfort zone. That's could be construed as a fixed mindset. But if you're comfortable there and you're really good at it and you like it, then why change, right? But you look around on your way to the Sunday bar or the ice cream bar, and you walk past a salad bar and a carving station and all these other wonderful options that exist at a buffet, with the macaroni and cheese. Oh man, you know, the green beans, the rolls, the list goes on. I'm getting hungry, right? Just talking about it. So anyway, maybe you want to stop and test out one of those other stops, you know, or one of those other spots. You can put a little broccoli on there, maybe a scoop of mashed potatoes, and you know, maybe something you've never tried before, maybe some turnip greens or collard greens, which are just scrumptious. But yeah, put a little bit on there, you test it out. Ooh, yummy. I'm going to go back for more, maybe. Or yeah, I tried it, don't really like it. Well, that's kind of how school goes. It's kind of how your courses go. And that's how this unit is going to kind of go for you this week or this module. So test out a couple items that we go through, and give them a little taste sample and see what you think. And then if you don't really need it, or maybe you only need it today, like tutoring, we'll talk a little bit about that. Maybe tutoring is something you only need just to kind of get you focused, and or maybe you're just doing a tough unit in a specific course, and just, you know, you've never maybe used a tutor before, you've never maybe had to or thought about it. uh, but you know, sometimes we have to put our ego aside and understand when, you know, we need a little extra outside help. And you know, only you know when you're reaching kind of an anxiety point, or that point of feeling uncomfortable, and maybe you've exhausted some of your resources, and you know, don't forget the tutor resource. So anyway, we'll talk a little bit about that this week and into next week as well. But anyhow, the next thing up on the docket really is going to be exploring, and really the rest of this unit, you're going to be exploring some of the college resources that we have for you. There are hyperlinks built in here. The first one is Learning Success. This is going to discuss some of our tutoring services, educational support, counseling, if you need that. This gets into test center assistance. Maybe you have had an IEP or some sort of instructional plan in high school, or you know, maybe you've been diagnosed with a learning disability. We can help you take care of business on at any level that you need. So if you click that Learning Success, it's going to take you to the GTC Campus Life kind of homepage there. You know, I wanted to mention something to you guys real quick too. I'm going to go to gtc.edu. All right. So this is what you're going to see when you just go to the main site. And the reason I brought you here, let me move my face over here. Um, a lot of what we do in Gateway to Success, you know, you may not need it in the immediate future. However, 6 months from now, or a year from now, or a year and a half from now, you may be in a course, or you may be experiencing some issue of some sort, or you just have a question, or something that you thought we talked about it maybe all the way back in Gateway to Success. Man, what did he say? And we did that. Shoot. Well, don't worry. If you go to the gtc.edu, you click on that search and you can find anything here. It's learning success, calendar, scholarship. You know, you can type in whatever you want. Maybe I need a tutor. Just type in the word tutor and boom, tutoring services comes up. So my point is gtc.edu, our homepage, click search and it'll take you right where you need to go. So anyway, I just want to throw that in there, and you know, as we go through this unit, um, there's potentially a lot of clicking, a lot of roaming around. You end up at a site within Gateway, but you don't know how you got there. Again, just go. You can go right back to this search. So anyway, I just want to throw that in there, kind of an FYI. So back to learning success, I've got the hyperlink in here for you. So you can click that, open it up, and it talks about tutoring. You click learn more, it'll give you some good info about tutoring. We have 24-hour tutoring services, virtual tutoring, face-to-face tutoring, peer tutoring, professional tutoring. We have all kinds of tutoring. On this site, you have the tutoring schedule, so you can click whatever campus you're on. Nursing is such a big program that we have our own tutoring schedule specific to the nursing program. So anyway, there's a little bit of info for you there. I'm going to go back. Disability, again, if you think you might have a learning disability, or you do, and you've been diagnosed with one, you could certainly go to this spot and see what the Learning Disability Support Services has to say. Each of our main campuses have a DSS office, so Elkhorn, Kenosha, Racine, for sure. All right, and then within that, or underneath that disability support services, you can see it talks about all the different accommodations, service animals, the different staff members, placement tests. So anyway, check that out. And the list goes on: multicultural program, non-traditional occupations, step up, student support counseling, veteran services, learning success coaches, pre-college multicultural resource centers. Additional info, we have our diversity, equity, and inclusion office, which we do a unit on that here coming up next week. So anyway, that's the learning success. A lot of meat there. And then student life tab, same deal. It's going to send you out over into, again, notice we're at Gateway gtc.edu main site. And again, you can still see that search bar there if you need to look for something. But anyhow, clubs and orgs, academic honors. So I want you to explore each of these. And again, how little or how much you explore is totally up to you. It's your experience. Just know that all of this exists, and we are definitely here to help you along the way. And it can seem a little cumbersome. So I think really kind of the key takeaway for this unit, and really this entire course, is communication. Recognize when it is you need to reach out for some help or guidance, assistance. Maybe I tell students in Gateway to Success that as you get into your courses, you know, your instructor is going to be kind of your point person. So when you have, if an incident occurs that you need to report, talk to your instructor about it. You all have advisors, academic advisors. They are there to help you as well. But again, as you get deeper into your programs and are a Gateway longer, you get further distance from that academic advisor, but you'll never be distanced from whoever your current instructor is. So again, you want to be sure that you do reach out as soon as you have some sort of issue come up or question, they're going to be your point person, even if it has nothing to do with the specific course you're in. you, your instructor will likely know how to direct you and to provide you with the resources you need to get it taken care of, whatever it might be. So anyway, just know that, and on top of that, we do have, if you don't, you need to talk to your instructor, and you just go onto the gtc.edu, and you can potentially find the answer to what you're looking for there. But anyway, don't be afraid to reach out. We all are here to help you, even outside of just our regular teaching of the specific course. So anyway, this talks about paying for college, career exploration, advising, registration, employment services, records, graduation. So all kinds of great info on this particular spot. So that's under student services. And then we have career and employment services. That's kind of toward the end of your stay and your experience at Gateway. However, maybe you want a job now, or maybe you need a little part-time something just while you're in school. You can still reach out to career and employment services. So don't just wait till the end and to connect with career services. So anyway, and again, each of the main 3 campuses are going to have a career employment services office. So you can go in, they can help you with resume building. They're going to have a job board that you can check that out as well. So anyway, they'll even do mock interviews if they'll prep you to get whatever it is you need while you're here, and even once you've graduated. Okay, so impact program too is awesome. This is community engaged learning. So depending on what program you're in, really any program you're in, you're going to be eventually dealing with and working with members of the community. So in the meantime, we do have civic engagement opportunities, as well as volunteering at different places. So anyway, think about that as you go, and please check that out. All right, so just you'll do something with this, all of these here in just a second, but that's kind of your one-stop shop. Speaking of one-stop shop, we do have a learning success, the little blue book here. They have these in hard copies all over the campuses on different tables, but there's a PDF right here as well that breaks down a lot of, and you can use this for your assignment coming up if you want to do learning success and student success and learning, the Learning Center. Okay, so you can look through that. It gives you some awesome details and info. Library, we've got a virtual library, so you can open this folder up and it'll have a link. There's a little video I'd recommend watching. It talks a little bit, it's short, and it goes through some of the basics of the library. But we have physical libraries at our main campuses. We also have a virtual library as well. Now, let's see if I click this, where's this going to take me? It used to take me right out to the library, but it looks like it's a video of the different services that the library offers. So where's the library? How do I get to the library? Again, if I go right over to gtc.edu, I could just type in library. I'll show you an easier way, but again, you may forget that easier way, and this is the foolproof easiest way to find really anything. And there you go, the first thing that pops up. Okay, so there's the library. The other way to find it is in your Blackboard. My Blackboard's a little different, so I don't know. We'll just leave it at that. Let me exit the preview. There we go. So across the top of your Blackboard, you probably have a bar that looks like this. And there you go. You can see library is right there. So that'll take you to the library as well. Let me go back into our student preview mode. modules, and then module 4. All right, so let's move forward. So you can explore the library a little bit if you'd like. As additional video resources folder, additional student success folder. So you're more than welcome to browse through that. Now, two things. You've got two things to do now. You already did your journal, or at some point you'll do your journal regarding strengths and academic success. Now you're going to create a little slide deck. Here's the assignment sheet that kind of goes through it. And if you ever see anything about working in groups or pairs, those are for our OSYNC or face-to-face sections. So you're on your own in an online course. So well, you're on your own. I'm here to help, but you're not going to be working in groups. But again, use the resources from GTC website, and here are the hyperlinks to all of those different listings. Targeted audience. A top 5 presentation must address all the following. Well, the top 5 things students should know about the resource. So you could pick any one of these. You could go outside of these, of course, and pick something else. But pick one of those or something to do with the GTC homepage and some sort of learning success resource, and then talk about the top 5. They could just be bullets. This could be a 2-slide slideshow. What questions do you as students have about the resource? So maybe you have a question about the resource. So create a Google slide deck that highlights the top 5. Includes, says a minimum of 3 slides. So your opening slide is just going to have your name and the course number, or just Gateway to Success, as well as what resource. So kind of the title slide page. And then you could have one content with 5 bullet points and each of the 5 items of the that we need to know about the resource, and then a closing slide, which can be whatever you want. It could be a picture, or or you can have as many slides as you want. But anyway, and then you'll download those as a PDF or a PowerPoint. PDF is fine. And then go from there. So let me see if we can, there we go. If you click that in the assignment sheet, it'll pull up, should pull up. There we go, make a copy. So again, I've got a sample one in here. You would have to click, well, I guess we just did. You get, this is your copy. So you just put what resource it is and then put your name. And then 5 things we need to know about the resource. So it could be bulleted or 1 through 5, and then any questions. So again, go back here. What questions do you as students have about the resource? So there are your 3 slides. You just need to fill in the blanks. You can soup it up if you want. You do whatever you want. This is like PowerPoint if you know how to do PowerPoint. Then once you're finished, you want to change this, you can put your last name, top 5, so you can delete that, and then top 5 presentation, and then your last name. That's perfectly fine. And then hit File, Download PDF. Okay, so File, Download PDF. And then that'll download right to your computer, and then you'll come over here and put it right in the assignment Dropbox. And that's all you need to do for that one. Okay. And then you can take those resources and go into the discussion board and answer this question: which Gateway student resource did you visit? Because your classmates don't see your slide deck. So this is where you can show it to them, or you don't have to show them the slide deck, but you can just put in your discussion board what resource you visited, and then would you recommend it? Maybe even just talk about the 5 things that students need to know. Okay, but other than that, that pretty much sums it up. Okay, already know how to do discussion boards. And so you could do a different one too. You don't have to stick with the resource you did for this slide deck. You could pick a different one as well. So like I say, it's like the buffet. So if you're comfortable at the dessert bar, just stay there, belly up, and get as many sprinkles as you want. And but if you want to try, some Brussels sprouts or something else, come over here and check one of these out and add that into your discussion. All right, and that's pretty much it for Module 4. There's a little kind of a reminder to keep thinking about your capstone project, but and if you put a few examples in there. But other than that, that's it. If you have questions about anything, please email me and let me know. Other than that, I will see you next week.